I'll be explaining you the EDA, exploratory data analysis, and this we'll be discussing about univariate analysis on different types of data, namely categorical type of data as well as continuous type of data. Yes, and the data set that I'm going to use is a bank data set. So let me just start explaining you in Spider now. To start with, let me install all the required packages for the analysis. Okay, so first of all, I am importing uh, pandas as PD, then import numpy as NP, and also for the data visualization purpose, I am using two packages, namely matplotlib and seaborn. So it has been successfully loaded. Now let me just read the bank data set. So loading data from CSV file. I am using the CSV file, so I am in the reason I am using read underscore CSV command. So pd dot read CSV bank CSV. Moreover, I have already set the related working directory, which is my G YouTube material. So wherever this CSV file is available, the consent working directory you have to set before that. Otherwise, you have to give the entire path where your CSV file is being located. Okay. Yes. So it has been successfully loaded. The CSV file is available right now. Now let us see the overall details about the data set. What type of data and the number of rows and what are the different columns that is there in the data set, is whether the columns contain any missing values. All those stuff we can very well get to know in a single command called info command. So the bank is the variable that I have created here. So I have to give bank dot info. So can you see here the different columns being listed, and non-null columns, how many are there, and then the total number of columns that is there in this data set, that is 614 rows are there. Okay, ranging from 0 to 613. And the object columns are categorical columns, and int and float are continuous type of columns. So this is how you can very well have almost 13 uh, columns are available. So these many informations you can draw from info command. Then in order to check the data types of each and every column, data types alone, then we have got a command called d types. So bank.dtypes will give you only the column data types. Then in order to check the shape of the data set, that is to know how many rows and columns, we can give this command. So bank.shape will give you 614, 13. So 614 rows are there and 13 columns are there. Now you can also see the column names of the different columns that is there in the data set. So in order to know only the column names, we'll just give columns command. So bank dot columns will give us the name of the columns in the data set. So can you see here, the names of all 13 columns are being displayed. So the next command is, I want to just maximize all the columns to be visible in my console. So I just give the set option, display max underscore columns null. So if you give this command, you can very well see all the columns that is there in the data set, irrespective of the number of columns available. So initially itself, I am just giving you this option. So in order to check the first 5 rows in the data set, I will give PD, that is bank dot head. My data frame is bank, so bank dot head I am giving here. Okay. So can you see here now? Otherwise, if I am not setting this option in line number 7, what will happen is only first few columns and last few columns in between 3 dots will be coming. Okay, you cannot see all the columns in a single shot. So in order to avoid that problem, so earlier itself I have set it properly, the set option display max columns null. So after which whatever operation that I am doing here, like head or tail, in order to display the first 5 rows and last 5 rows, you can see all the columns at a stretch. Okay, so that is the benefit of it. Our main objective in this EDA is to find whether the bank will provide or sanction loan to an individual or not. Okay, so that is our main objective. So in order to carry out this, we can consider loan status column as our dependent column, which is our Y dependent column. Now let us check the frequency of the loan status column. Okay, in order to do so, we will have the command like this. Bank of, so this is the data frame, bank of loan status, which you have to give within quotes, then dot value underscore counts. So value underscore counts will give us the frequency of each and every category in the loan status column. So can you see here, Y out of 640 in records, Y is 422 and no is 192. So this is how you can very well have the frequency of each category. Then in order to just find out the same value counts in different ways. For example, you can use normalized parameter in the value counts. Okay, so here normalize equal to true means the value of Y divided by the total number of rows and N divided by total number of rows. That is, the row proportion will be displayed. So that is the meaning. Okay. So can you see 68% no, and there, sorry, 68% will be yes and 31% will be no. Next, in order to count the number of males and females in a gender column, we can give like this: bank of gender dot value counts. Then in order to find the row proportion of gender column, the same way we can give normalize equal to true parameter for value underscore counts command. So what is the inference that we observe here is, from the above values we can say that 81% of them are males and 19% of them are females. If you round the female proportion, 18.6 will be converted to 19. So 19% of them are females. Now let us just have the plot for the same. I am drawing a bar plot where it will show the male and female. So you can very well have the bar plot here. So from this also you can give the same inference. So from the above bar graph, we can say that 81% of number of males are more than the number of females. So percentage of male is more than the percentage of female. Next one, for a categorical column gender, as we have drawn bar plot, we can also draw pie plot. So pie plot for the same gender column, we can have like this. So can you see here 81.36% are male and 18.64% are female. You can cross check with the table that we have got earlier, the value counts that we got. So line number 12, you got the same value. So this has been plotted in the pie plot. So with the bar plot you can have it. Same way you can also use pie plot. So bar plot and pie plot are meant for categorical type of columns. So likewise, we will proceed with the remaining categorical columns. So before that, we can also give inference for this pie plot. So we observe that males are 4 times more than the females. Then to count how many applicants are married. Okay, so married is another categorical column. So you can have like this. Yes means how many of them applicants are married. So 398 applicants are married and 213 applicants are unmarried. So let us find out the row proportions on married column. So it comes to 65% yes and 34.8% no. So we can write the inference like this. From the above values, we can say that 65% of them are married and around 35% are unmarried. So this is how you can write the statistical inference after each and every charts that we draw. Then bar plot. So can you see here the bar plot for married column? So the inference is from the above bar graph, we can clearly say that the percentage of married persons are more than percentage of unmarried persons. Then pie plot for married. So this is how you can draw the pie plot. So the additional inference that we get is from the above pie plot, we infer that number of married persons, that is 65%, are almost twice that of unmarried persons, 35%, almost twice. Okay. Yes. Now we'll just find the count, the frequency for dependence column. So we have got 4 different categories: 0, applicant with 0 dependent, 1 dependent, 2 and 3 plus. So 4 different categories are there. So likewise for each and every category, we have got the value counts. Then to find out the percentage of dependence, we can have like this, that is no normalize equal to true, the row proportions. So likewise 0 with 57%, 1 with 17%, 2 16.8%, 3 plus is 0.5%. 9%. So likewise you can have. Then bar plot we can draw now. See, I am drawing the same bar plot and pie plot for the categorical type of data. Okay. Since bar plot and pie plot are applicable only for categorical columns, and that too I am just picking up only the categorical columns, we are doing the same type of graphs here. So the inference for the same is, from the above bar graph, we can say that zero dependence or more comparing the other categories of dependence. Now let us draw the pie plot on dependence column. So this is how you can have with different colors, beautifully segmented. So all the different 4 categories with the percentage we are adding the plot, pie plot. Okay, so let me just quickly give you the inference on this. From the above pie chart, zero dependence or 57%, one dependence or 17%, two dependence or 17% once again, and three and more or more than three dependence or 9%. So you can very well correlate it with the line number 26, the frequency counts. Okay, so this is how you can very well cross check the value counts column, the command as well as the pie chart. Now let us find the number of graduates and not graduates from education column. Okay, so you can see here, out of 614 applicants, 490 people are graduates and 134 are non-graduates. Okay, so this is the inference that we can have. Now let us find out the row proportions of education column. Please remember, we need to use normalize equal to true to find out the row proportions. So 78% are graduate and 21.8% are not graduates. Now let us just have the bar plot on education. So graduate and not graduate, it's being segmented here. Now the inference is, so you have got a separate bar for each and every category. Now the inference is, from the above bar graph, we can say that number of graduates 78% or more than that of not graduates 22%. We'll have the pie plot on education. So this is the pie plot. So before proceeding further with other categorical columns, I am happy to share with you that this is the project being carried out by one of my beloved student, Mr. Kiran. He is doing his MBA in Hyderabad, Watson University. He is a very smart and intelligent chap. So he is the person who has done this project night and day and come out with a detailed analysis. So I just want to share the same thing with you. Okay. Yes. And the learners who just watch this video in full can also be benefited in the same way, and you can pick up any other data set from Kaggle or any other open medium. Then you can do on your own and come out with the detailed analysis like this. And you can very well know my mail ID in my YouTube channel. So you can very well send the related projects to me. I will give you the enhancements by going through it at free of cost. Now let us take the self-employed column. So no means 500, yes means 82. So it is giving us the frequency counts. Now to find out the proportions in self-employed column, we use like this. So 85% no and remaining percent are yes. Now we will continue the same way. So here we'll just have the bar plot for the self-employed column. So you can very well see the bar plot here. So the inference also you can note it down. From the above bar graph, we can say that self-employed persons are less than not self-employed persons. Then pie chart on self-employed. Here we are doing it for each and every categorical column separately, the bar plot as well as pie plot. Maybe in future videos, that is in the near future, I'll be quickly releasing the video where you can find the details of all the related bar plots or pie plots of all the categorical columns at a stretch. So in one single shot, you can very well draw both the bar plots as well as pie plots for categorical column, and also the related charts for continuous columns or related statistics pertaining to continuous columns separately. So I'll just quickly release the video very soon. You can also watch that video and know how to do the analysis in a single command for all categorical columns at once, as well as how to do the same analysis for continuous type of columns instead of doing it for each and every column in the data set. To proceed further, let me just add the credit history column. To know how many persons are having bad or good credit history. So you can have like this. Now in order to check the proportions, row proportions, you can have like this. For 1 it is 84%, for 0 it is 15.7%. You can also draw the bar plot. The inference for the same. Then pie chart on credit history. So the inference is from the above pie chart. We can say that 84% of them are having good credit history and 16 of them are not having good credit history. So likewise, you can write a conclusion after each and every graph that you draw. Then the property area column. So we have got 3 different categories: semi-urban, urban, rural. So it is giving you the value counts. Now let us have the row proportion for each category. Then we'll have the pie plot, that is a bar plot here. So now let us draw the bar plot on property area. So the inferences from the above bar graph, we can say that the number of persons studying in a semi-urban area is more than the other two property areas. Then comes the pie plot. So inference for this pie plot is here from the above pie chart. It is observed that see all of you have to remember that whenever we write the inference, you can say like this: it is observed or it is inferred. So for each and every chart, you can rewrite the statements. So here from the above pie chart, it is observed that 38% of persons are staying in semi-urban areas, 33% are in urban areas, and 29% are staying in rural areas. So far we have just seen the univariate analysis for categorical type of columns. Now we'll just continue with continuous type of columns, univariate analysis on continuous data. So in order to know the measures of central tendency and measures of spread, dispersion or spread, we'll use the following command. Bank.describe. After that, I am just giving bank.describe of exclude equal to np.object. Already we have given import numpy as np. So here we have given exclude equal to np.object. Meaning to say, we are excluding the categorical columns and picking up only the continuous type of columns. So at a stretch, I am going to do or apply this describe command for all continuous columns. So can you see here? Applicant income, co-applicant income, loan amount term. Since credit history it is given in numbers, it is also taking down that as zeros and ones as numeric column. So that's why it is giving me the statistics, that is related statistics, measures of central tendency and measures of dispersion and spread. If you give dot skew and dot cut, you can very well get the measures of dispersion and spread along with these details. So far in this, we have got minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation, count, then different quartiles, Q1, Q2, Q3. So likewise, we have got all the details using describe command. Then in order to know the normality of all continuous columns, see for continuous type of columns, always we just find out the distribution, whether the data is normal or not normal. So this one will really help to check whether the data is having the bell-shaped curve or not. If it is other than bell-shaped curve, we claim stating that the data is not normal. So this dist plot will give us the dist plot is otherwise called as distribution plot. So it will show the normality of data for each and every continuous type of columns. So here I am just using Seaborn package. The object that I created is SNS. So SNS dot set font underscore scales 1, 1. After which I am just plotting the figure. That is, I am reserving the figure size. Figure size 18, 5. Afterwards, for each and every column, continuous column, I am having the subplot with 141, 142, 143, 144, like that. So four different continuous columns are there. So I am just having the subplots. So can you see here, in one single shot, we are having the distant plot, that is distribution plots for each and every continuous columns. So from the above graph, we can infer that none of the continuous columns are not normally distributed. All are abnormal. So it is not normally distributed. Since it doesn't follow bell-shaped curve, we claim stating that it is not following normal distribution. Then in order to find out the outliers, we can use box plot. So this is how you can very well have the box plot. So we have got co-applicant income, that is applicant income, co-applicant income, loan amount and loan amount term. All the columns that you see here are having the outliers. So after the maximum value, you can very well see the different data points, which indicates that this data set contains lot of outliers in each and every continuous column. So that is how you can do the univariate analysis for both categorical columns as well as continuous columns. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much. Once again, I thank Kiran Kumar for having given this wonderful insights with all related graphs. Thank you all once again. Please watch this video in full, share, like, subscribe if you have not done earlier. Also, please send your valuable comments. Also, yes. So in which case you can very well apply the same different types of graphs and the different statistics, the commands that I have shown you separately for categorical type of data and also for continuous type of data. For the data set that you choose on your own, and try to send the projects through mail. I'll evaluate the same and give you the enhancements. Thank you all.